really quick, while I have you. Philo, have you heard about it? Oh, it's the best. They're giving you 25% off 2 months of Hallmark, Lifetime, Up, GAC, the sorts. The movies we're talking about? Philo. 25% off. Philo.tv/DTH. Don't don't let this pass you by. Philo.tv/DTH. Here's the episode. This is a Bramble Jam podcast. We're on?
Yeah, we're on right
now.
This
is it right now?
Yeah, this is
we're
it.
on this. I'm Bran. We're going. Michael, you're going.
Are you good? Are you
if
rolling?
I just talk, you'll hear me, and
Yes.
and just look at the camera.
Not even a delay.
You give me a quick one. Count to 10 real quick.
1, 3.
That's great. You're great.
Good.
I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Panda, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan. I despise Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Michael, and I am oft in Christmas movies.
And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast. Oh, man.
Wow.
Flawless.
Thrilling.
That intro was flawless.
It was flawless. Listen, we've been doing this. This is our 4th season. It's like just riding a bike.
Well, what's wild is we never get it flawless, but Beforehand Rady was nice enough to give us some pointers.
Yeah.
And that really, I think that smoothed it on out. I think everything was so good.
And you guys took my notes, and it was really cool watching you try to get there. And you were so close, and it was exciting for me to see you guys trying so hard. So kudos again to you. I feel like
Thanks, buddy.
We may have asked this, Michael, in all seriousness, have you ever decided to talk about directing, thought about directing? Is that something you want to do, or are you just happy to act and just chill?
No, I would love to direct. I think I would just have to feel strongly about whatever the project is that I would be directing. I'm not interested in just jumping into a random episode of something on television. I think directors put so much work and so much time into creating this. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in putting all of that work and time into creating this movie or whatever it is that lasts a very long time. It's a big time input to direct a movie. And
so as it stands, you really love collaborating, giving it all, working with everybody, and then getting to go home and just seeing how it turns out later. That's kind of nice.
Yes, absolutely. I have four little ones at home right now. So
4. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I get to right now. That would be a big commitment to dedicate 9 months to directing a movie or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have it good right now.
If you're into that kind of thing, I guess.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Right.
Michael, so happy that you're here. You're not in a Hallmark Christmas movie this year, but that doesn't matter. We wanted to have you because the people demanded it. They said, make sure you get Rady back on here. You're a crowd favorite here.
You are a crowd favorite on Deck the Hallmark. Consistently.
Thanks. I mean, I got when you guys sent the messenger to my house with the big thing. I got that from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a singing telegram. It was a singing telegram, if I'm not mistaken. We did a full song for you, didn't we? Okay.
With the whole suit and everything. It was beautiful.
Do you want to know what's crazy is we did get a Rady movie this year with New Year's resolution.
That's true.
We did get a Rady movie this year.
Now, I know that's wild for you because you're years removed from that movie, but it did premiere this year.
Back when I was in 5th grade, I made that. was that technically 2021?
Yeah.
It came out like the second week of November. I'm sorry,
January.
It wasn't the first.
It wasn't the first week of January. It wasn't on New Year's. It was just mid-January.
You know what's wild, Michael, is that anytime Hallmark, in the old regime, in the Bill Abbott regime, anytime they would pull a movie and hold it, you'd be like, all right, that movie's a clunker. Like, it's really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of in my head thinking, this movie, I felt bad. Like I was already like girding my loins for watching a bad Michael Rady movie. I was like, this must be really bad. And it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad at all.
Like you and Amy Teagarden were really good.
A delight.
Like, why did they keep holding on to it and not just release the dang thing?
I think, I mean, I don't know how much I'm allowed to just, I don't know that much, but I heard that it was something about like there was a bank fraud storyline. And so that was a little, not like on brand or something. And
so Bill thought that was too negative, essentially.
Perhaps, yeah. He didn't want to. We don't need to see that. We just want to see joy and peace. But it's really, I think, not nitpicking, but it's okay. Yeah, I guess it's sure. I see the point. But when the regime change happened, it was like,
Yeah, go.
It was a delight.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Two
Loved it.
people just bringing it, and they're just so delightful.
I was really brought down by the bank.
Yeah, the
story, though.
bank.
I got really
Like
depressed
I went
after
into
that,
a
but
pretty like
it was
severe
pretty
depression.
heavy.
If I want to watch stuff about Bernie Madoff, I'll go watch some
come
docs,
on.
Michael. Gosh.
Michael, I want to know, since you haven't made a Hallmark movie in a little bit of time, have you been keeping up with all that's been going on with the new regime and the GAC and Bill and all that stuff? Are you in the weeds like we are, or do you need
have no clue what we're talking about?
No, I really don't. Honestly, I have four little ones, and one of them is 7 months old. So I've really been in a bit of all, and I've been back and forth to Chicago for a lot of this time. So I've been in a hole pretty much. So yeah, if you're welcome. We can burn tape right now, and you can update me.
I would just say probably whatever you would assume is happening is probably happening. Whatever that means to you, it's probably happening. Yeah.
Wow.
I got to be honest. I know we have a movie to discuss. I am going to get, people are just going to rain on me for not knowing this information. They film all of those Chicago shows in Chicago.
Yeah.
I just assumed Chicago Fire, PD Med. I just assumed they were filmed in some similar.
Are they running out of buildings to light on fire?
Like they filmed Chicago Med, which you're on, guys. Check out Chicago Med, 10 episodes. They film it in the city of Chicago. Right
in the middle of the city. Chicago Med is great because they built so much has to happen in the hospital. The workplace is in the hospital, and so I think they shoot about one day an episode on location, whereas Chicago PD or Chicago Fire, it's all pretty much, it's probably the opposite. So Chicago is it's blustery, in the second half of the season, and so Chicago Fire and PD they're out on the streets of Chicago filming most of their episodes for half of their season, and that is just brutal.
Yes.
But Med is pretty much all on. They even now with COVID, they rebuilt the main hospital, foyer or whatever, the hospital entryway. They rebuilt that on a huge soundstage. So it's just the hours are dialed in. We don't have to deal with all kind of weird hours with certain locations and things. And it's a great place to work, and they're wonderful people. And yeah, the whole Chicago One is what they call it now. The Chicago One universe.
Wow. It's all one universe.
So cool.
Do the characters
cross
kind
over?
of
Crossovers, tons of crossovers.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
No one's doing that. That doesn't happen on television.
No, never.
Yeah. And Med's really cool. Chicago Med's really cool because Dick Wolf, he was the first one who decided to put a mental health expert, a psychiatrist in the cast, or in the storyline. So every episode there's a mental health storyline as well, that's a first for a hospital show. And it's such unmined territory, and it is so ripe and refreshing to see. And Oliver Platt plays that role. He's so good.
Oliver Platt is amazing. He's on Chicago Med.
He's on Chicago Med. Everyone, Epatha, the main guy, everyone. It's a wonderful group of people. And thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm ranting.
I love what's going on right now, though, with your cardigan. Like the way that the collar and the back is popped.
Starting to pop.
If you sit back, the shadow makes it look like you got a mullet going on.
That's right.
Which is just
a good look.
I love it. And I think that should be your 2022 resolution.
I'm getting close to a mullet here.
Hey, that ain't bad.
You are.
That ain't bad. Dare to dream.
I'm not afraid of a mullet, guys.
I know it sounds like that this has all just been Michael, doing some just bit work for Chicago Med and stuff, but I got to give broadcast network procedurals another chance. It's a show made by Dick Wolf with Oliver Platt and Michael Rady in it. That cannot help but be good. Like legitimately.
With Steven Weber also, there's some great people on it.
And you love a good crossover.
I love a good crossover.
I mean, it's genius. It's genius.
You don't see it coming because you're like, I've seen this in some other place, and then they're there right before. It's like when a friend comes to your home for the first time, you just don't even know.
It's a whole new context. Wait a second.
Yeah,
you're here. Yeah.
Wow.
You don't see it.
But you're at my house.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Are you again? I apologize for my naivete in this regard. Are you a doctor in the
I'm
show?
a doctor. Yeah, I mean.
So give me a quick like,
I
give me a
play
quick
doctor.
like 20 cc's of Pepto, like whatever you would say.
Okay. Get him on an atricuramine drip and use dexmedetomidine instead of propofol.
Wow.
Get him on an
Wow.
atricuramine drip and use dexmedetomidine instead of propofol. I mean, I can barely say it right now, but I had to say that the other day. That was a rough
Now,
Wow.
now let me ask you this: you get to say lines like that. Are you the type of person that before you kind of became a doctor for a TV show, you studied, you kind of tried to learn some of the stuff that you would be communicating, so you actually knew what you were talking about?
I mean, yes, I do. When I'm prepping for like a scene like that, for any scene, and there's language in it, that's very hard. I mean, that could be, it's another language. Whatever I just said is another language, and so I do research all of it, so I know it brings a context, so it helps me remember it. And I could never tell someone in this, oh, you should get some atricuramine right now, but in the context of that scene that I forget now, but it made sense to me, and which helps me be there and be real and present, and hopefully brings, if it brings a sliver more truth to it, that there's, some understanding and awareness behind the words instead of just the jargon.
What I hear you saying is that I no longer have to call 911 when something happens to me. I can
call
just
Rady.
call my boy. Say, hey, buddy, what are you?
And you're going to make, have you tried dexapropofamine? What about your
I was
Ripadol?
talking to a family member yesterday, and my one cousin his ear is swollen, and my cousin, she was like, yeah, I'm worried about. She's a nurse practitioner, but I'm like texting things like, look, you might want to. I mean, look, don't mess with that. Let's get him on some high grade antibiotic. Let's just go to the urgent care. He's got bowel. Okay. Yeah, the antibiotics are going to wreak havoc on his digestion, but it's what you like. This is primary. You got if your body's telling you. I did have this weird sort of undeserved like confidence with medical. Like, she's a nurse practitioner. She's seen.
She's got it.
Leave it alone.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
I think I got to dive into the Chicago world.
No
I
kidding.
think we
I
should.
think is what I got to do.
You want Chicago-thon it?
A Chicago-thon.
That's a lot of episodes, guys. Before
No.
you say
It's a
that
lot
out loud.
of episodes, but
Yeah.
enjoy.
Mhm.
What if we went to Chicago for the Chicago-thon?
Ooh,
It's a
boy.
Chicago-thon.
No.
Chicago Squared-thon.
Oh my God.
C squared thon.
We'll work it out.
We just
after
spend all summer there.
Yeah, please. We're talking 5 more minutes, which is a Nikki DeLoach movie. You joined us last year for Cranberry Christmas, Nikki DeLoach
Yeah.
movie. I just kind of want to keep this tradition going where you
Rady reviews Nikki DeLoach.
one of these
movie.
days the movie's gonna be real bad. And you're gonna have to man up and just be like, Nikki just didn't bring it.
I got to be honest. There's no world where he'll ever. I can't. But the other thing is this is why he wants to do this movie, because he knows that Nikki always brings it.
Yeah.
He'll never have to.
She always does it, and if she phoned it in, I think I'd be able to be like, you know what? She doesn't. She's.
All right.
I love it.
I know how much she cares about her craft.
She doesn't have the
Tell
ability to
stories.
phone it in.
She can't
It's
do
not possible, guys.
No.
It's not going to happen. You can just leave right now if that's what you're waiting for.
That's right.
Mm.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
5 more minutes.
Wish I had
What
me
a
a pause button.
It was a good song. It was a bop there at
That
the
song's
end.
catchy.
It's a catchy little tune there,
It's a
wasn't
catchy
it?
little-
Yeah.
Mm.
5 more minutes.
Guys,
are you
what was the Mitch
are you a
Albom
country
book?
guy?
I know. I'm not. I'll listen to it, but I don't have a working knowledge of a vast working knowledge.
Yeah,
of country.
And I know we're at this point we're kind of putting people into buckets, but you asked a vegan from Philadelphia that currently lives in Connecticut if he's a country music fan.
Well, hey, that's
odds.
that's eclectic, right? I'm a vegan from Philly. That's incongruous. I was in California. Now I'm in Connecticut. I'm a mosaic.
That's right. But if you also like country music, that's a Venn diagram. Just it's a circle, right?
It's
So-
just-
right.
it's just you.
Exactly.
It's just you. Yeah,
Um,
it's just you.
Sure, I can listen. I mean, a good country tune. I'm not prejudiced against. How can I lay a blanket statement across a wide swath of music like that? There's
But
some
you don't
that I've
seek
heard
it
that I don't
out.
like.
You don't seek out country
No.
music.
If I'm like in the certain mood in the kitchen making breakfast or lunch for the kids and they're sitting at the island, I'll put on some Rascal Flats and just kind of let them have it. Does that qualify as country music?
I think
I sang backup for Shania Twain once when she was in Philadelphia when I was in high school.
You
What?
sang backup for Shania Twain?
Oh, how about that?
You
Backup.
didn't.
I did. We came in and I forget why and how it all happened, but I remember getting a call from a friend of mine, and her mom was organized something for the big Spectrum or whatever. The big venue down in South Philly, and Shania Twain concert was coming to town, and they needed a group of of students to come in and sing some background pieces for a couple of her songs, and we did it. We got to go in there, rehearsed, and then like the full arena, lights flat. It looked like fireworks from the audience. There were so many flash bulbs going off, and she was just rocking in front of us for 5
This
songs.
is why we have to have Michael on more often. Like I just don't. We bring him on to review a movie, and it's wonderful. He's charming and great, but we just need an hour and we need a 90-minute block of asking Michael Rady questions because it always goes somewhere you never think it's going to go.
I think it's a quarterly appointment.
A quarterly thing that we do every year.
Hanging out with the Rady.
It's just too good.
We'll work that in. We'll work that in. I mean, we talked about nothing we were supposed to talk about today, so
That's
we
right.
could always talk about 5 more minutes next week.
Yeah, that's
there
true.
you go. That's
give
fun.
me it really quick before I dive into this. Give me some harmony that don't impress me much.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
That don't impress me much. It's like a totally different version.
Yeah,
It's great.
Okay, so you're Michael Rady. Don't impress
That don't
me
impress me much.
So yeah, I don't know what that does to our country music conversation. So I do have a little street cred, but I kind of blow it out. Like I'm from Philly, but I don't follow Philly sports. So it's confusing.
Yeah. No.
Listen, well,
You're
It's
in
complicated.
There's yin and yang there.
Yeah, there is.
Shania's not going to sing by herself. 5 more minutes. Originally aired on November 20th, 2021, and it went a little something like this. The movie kicks off with little Clara, who's with her grandpa, eating candy canes and wishing on stars. Her wish: to spend every Christmas with her grandpa. Cut to present day. An adult Clara is an elementary school art teacher and is one of many teachers of the years that this school has. I'm a little foggy on those details, but nevertheless, she's good at her job, apparently. And she has a boyfriend named Blake who also works at the school, and they're going to go out for dinner. And at dinner, he's getting all serious and fidgety and stuff. And you're like, oh, is he on drugs? No, he's not. He pulls out a box and he accidentally drops it. It's a ring box. She sees it. She's thrown off by this. And she decides, I'm going to pivot this conversation by opening up my mail. So she pulls out some mail, rips open the envelope, and it turns out she's getting laid off. So I don't know what's worse, getting proposed to by Blake or getting laid off. I think it might be a draw for the evening. It's her first Christmas without her grandpa, and she decides to go home to help her mom with the candy store. And she goes to a Christmas tree lot in town and bumps into a fella named Logan. They clearly have a past, and he tells her that he's back from active duty and is going to be living here now that he's in the reserves. Good for him. Clara is really missing her grandpa and decides to wish for 5 more minutes with him.
5 more minutes.
Pause button. Then a guy named Jay shows up, and right after she puts out a help wanted sign in the window, and he's like, the old store owner said that I could work here during the holiday season. And she's like, do you have any, have a resume? Or he's like, he's told me I was good. She's like, good enough for me. His job essentially, from what I gather, is to organize and clean the back room. And in the process, finds an old journal, gives that journal to Clara. Turns out that journal belonged to her grandpa when he was a teenager. And he was in love with a woman named Martha, who Clara had never heard about. Grandma's name's not Martha. Who's this Martha? She tells Logan about this journal, and they read it together. And then they talk about their past and how she was hurt when he left for the service, and how I never wanted to hear from you and never heard from you. Blah blah blah. As they read the journal, it turns out there's a lot of parallels between their story and the story in the journal. And in the process, she's clearly redeveloping feelings for Logan. What about Blake, you ask? I'm sure he'll be fine. After a night of reading the journal with Logan, Claire decides to call Blake with the intention of breaking off. But it goes to voicemail, and it says, she's basically like, we need to talk. So writing's on the wall there, pal. Clara finds an unsent letter from her grandpa to Martha, and basically she's like, I got to find this woman. I got to give her this letter. So she teams up with Logan to go and find this Martha, goes to every possible Martha in town, and can't find her. But luckily, this one woman has the same name as the Martha, the exact same name. And so she gets mail, and she knows the
her
address.
address.
She knows the address.
Yeah.
So they go there, and they're waiting for her because she's not there, sitting on the stoop. And they're having some serious conversation. He's like, hey, bad news, baby. I got a call. I got to go back into active duty. She's real bummed out of this. She just leaves the letter, and she just leaves. You got to bring me home. At one point, Blake shows up, and they break up. So that's too bad for him. Martha shows up and at the house and says, hey, I got your letter. And fun fact, I actually reconnected with him before he died. We were writing some letters. We were going to meet, but then he passed. And so it was so great to get this letter. And here is some pictures of your grandpa when he was younger. She goes to the candy store, and she's feeling real bummed about the whole thing with Logan, and is really just missing her grandpa. And Jay shows up, and they talk about love, and then he says, I'm leaving. My work here is done. And he walks out, and I think like on his way out, he turns on a toy train. I'm not sure, but the train starts to move, pushes her purse off the table, which causes photos to then stumble out. And she looks at the photos, and she realizes that Jay is her grandfather as a teenager. What? We get a montage of young Jay and Martha set to 5 more minutes. And she runs out of the store, and she starts yelling for Jay, come back, Grandpa, type of situation. She's real emotional, and she says, I promise I'll never let love go again. As the snow falls down, she goes to find Logan. She's like, I love you. I'm not going to let you go again. And he's like, well, the good news is I'm sticking around because I guess I'm going to, they want me here in North Carolina, which is just awesome. They kiss, and now, my friends, was 5 more minutes.
Wow.
We did it.
That's great. I could have you do that synopsis for 5 more minutes. I loved it. You did it. Such a great job.
Thank you, buddy. Do you guys want to take a quick break? We'll
If
come
I
back.
could have 5 more minutes, I think I'd go back and listen to that again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, this is so nice. You guys are never this nice. Rady you guys are nicer when Rady's around.
Rady, it's contagious.
He
It's
brings out the
contagious.
best in us.
Let's take a quick break, and
I'm
we'll
exhausted. Let's take a break.
we'll talk about some stuff when we get back.
Okay.
But we got to hear from some sponsors
Yes,
first.
of course.
Here on Deck the Hallmark.
Coming in hot.
Hey, Rady, what do you know about bras?
I mean, I think it goes unspoken. I think we all know everything about bras, right?
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I know is that they're tough to shop for, aren't they?
They are. Well, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's what we were all thinking. They're very,
Of course.
They're
Not anymore, though.
Not anymore
No.
because of Third Love. I know you know about Third Love, but for the people out there that might not know about Third Love has made it easy for you to find the perfect bra for you.
all about
No
that
more
quiz.
wondering. No more wondering. Is this going to work? Is it going to work? They have a quiz that helps you find the perfect bra. They send it to you, and if for some reason it doesn't work, you send it right back, and they will make it right. That's exactly what happened with my wife. My wife did the quiz. They sent her a bra. It wasn't quite right, and Third Love went above and beyond to make sure that she received the perfect bra. So many people have done this. It's helped over 18 million women find their true bra size, which is phenomenal. And the fun thing is when they have this partnership where they donate some bras to people in need. They've donated over $40 million worth of bras to people in need.
Fantastic.
Which is and even heal injured turtles, which is a throw in here. And I do have questions. Maybe I could talk to the Third Love crew about that. But the turtles, guys, help turtles find the perfect bra for you by going to thirdlove.com/deck. That's going to give you 20% off your first order. That is thirdlove.com/deck. THIRD love.com/deck. 20% off from Third Love today. And don't forget, the entire season of Deck the Hallmark is brought to you by Philo, the perfect place to watch all of your made-for-TV Christmas movies. Hallmark, Home Movies and Mysteries, Up, Lifetime, Gak, they got it all.
Philo.tv/DTH for 25% off
That's
2
right.
months. It's unbelievable.
Philo.tv/DTH. We're back, everybody.
I'm sorry. I know we have things to do. Turtles?
I don't know.
What?
I think that's a Venn diagram if I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. I just didn't. That's new.
I was unaware.
I just don't think you guys get it.
I don't think
I
we
don't.
do. Did you know, Michael, we
I
eat a Did you know we eat a credit card a week in plastic? Did you know that?
No. This
Human beings ingest a credit card a week in plastic.
That's according to another sponsor.
Yeah. Blue Land.
Wow. Wait, who?
Blue Land. They make reusable products. So all of your stuff, like they make a reusable soap dispenser, reusable water bottles, reusable all this stuff. And I, as someone who cares a lot like you, this is going to actually bother you now that I've said it out loud. I probably shouldn't have said it.
Credit card a week, like 8 pounds of dirt before you die. I've heard this. Credit card a week. That's like, what is that before you die? That's a lot of.
It's a lot of
credit cards.
A lot of plastic.
A lot of credit cards. Credit card?
I don't even have that many credit cards, which is why I don't know why I keep.
Yeah, I'll wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and I'm in someone else's house and I'm just going through their wallet.
I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night. I'm just like, I gotta pull that sucker out. That's tough.
It's tough.
That's tough.
That magnetic strip.
Oh my gosh, forget about it. The chips, they will get
putting the chips in them. That's when that's my whole habit shifted then.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's so hard not to.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 5 more minutes. Let's start with the hot take where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. I always start with you, Panda, and you've been doing okay this week with your hot takes.
Thank you.
I think this is your chance to go from okay to fantastic with your hot take on this movie. What do you think about 5 more minutes, buddy?
Listen, Nikki crushes it. She does a wonderful job. And the plot is interesting enough. Guys, I've said this before though. I don't like big sads.
Unless you do.
Unless I do.
Because like your top movies have
my
sads.
My top movies have some sads.
Yeah.
But overall, there's got to be a vibe of positivity. And this one gives me more sads than big ups. And so I'm down on this one just a little bit. It's
sads than big ups.
But
so
it's
I'm down
still
on
it's
this
still
one.
it's still one of the better ones we've had this year.
Put that on the DVD box. Yeah. More sads than big ups. So I'm down on this one.
Yep, that's what I said.
Deck the Hallmark.
I said it.
Yeah. Well, that's quite the turnaround you did.
That's
there
quite a soundbite.
Yeah.
But you said it's one of the better ones.
It's one of the better ones for right now.
I don't even know what you're saying.
But so where's it going to end up for you right now? Like on your ranking?
It's probably 7 or 8.
Okay. All right. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Michael, I know you watch these movies all the time. You have them on 24/7 at your house. So this is just another day. But what do you think about this one? How did it hold up for you? 5 more minutes.
Well, as we've discussed, I'm predisposed to be really into it because of my buddy Nikki is the lead, and I am a sucker for a time travel kind of thing. Did I lose you guys?
No, I'm
right here. I just went.
I'm a
we
sucker
went full
for
screen.
a time travel, like Mitch Albom, 5 more minutes. Like Mitch Albom had a book, right? Something like 5 more minutes, or
5 minutes in heaven. Is that the one?
No, 5 minutes.
Mitch Albom. Yeah, I know the one you're.
I'm a sucker for this kind of thing, and so I was on board for this. I appreciate the sentiment. I don't need big ups all the time. I more prefer to watch people navigate emotions. I don't need those emotions to always be or lead to a big, satisfying, fulfilling up, if that's what we're going to call it. So I really appreciate the different generations working through them. Nikki's character, her mom's character, trying to figure out their hearts and where they're headed next in life. And so I and then add that little extra mysterious, the Hallmark movies and mystery element of the time travel grandfather thing, who's like I am ripe for the taking for that. I am the audience for that. I love those things.
Did you see it coming when Jay walked in? Like, at what point did you have a?
Once they started doing the flashbacks,
and you never see his face.
That tipped it off for me, but I didn't care, so I was waiting for it. And for me, the character Alex, I think is the actor's name. He was so well cast. I really liked him a lot. Just something about his eyes and his smile. It really worked for me. And at the end, when he said, "I don't know," I saw it coming. But we see a lot of these movies coming, right? And we don't care. That's why we watch them. And so, I saw it coming, but I didn't care at all.
Yeah. He walked in and I said, I think that might be his grandpa.
And I looked at you and I said, well, they're not showing his face in the flashbacks. So,
Yeah.
But did that stop me from giving a standing O when she started looking at the pictures? No. I stood up and I said, yeah.
5 more minutes.
I really, really like this movie. There's a lot. Here's the thing again about Nikki is there are things that are said in this movie. Like when she runs out at the end, once she sees the pictures and she does this big speech to the sky and the country music is playing and you're like, this isn't going to work, but there's something about the way that she does it that's so genuine and it's so good because it's not necessarily what I would consider like a perfectly written scene. Like it felt a little hokey, cheesy, all of that, like in that moment, but it really worked with her. Really, really enjoyed this movie. It's up there towards the top for me. I got a standing O. I cheered. Didn't cry, but I could have if I wanted. If Dan wasn't sitting next to me and just like
I was ruining everything for you.
You're ruining everything for me as you usually do. But yeah, really like this movie. Big ups.
Big ups.
Big ups.
Big ups for you. I wish I had me a fast forward button is what I wish. Listen, here's the thing. I want to be very clear. This movie is a train wreck. And it's one of the reasons it is because there's a lot of storylines happening here and none of them are really fully realized. And so the impact of this, granddaughter, grandfather relationship gets undermined by all of this other stuff that just seems to get in the way of that. Also, like on the page and describing it, it's really schmaltzy and not in like a good Hallmark way. It really just feels saccharine and just like unearned and there's no twist in this. And it just came across as weird. And I got like cringe feels, like very like cringe chills almost. Having said all of that, I don't know how she does it, but Nikki DeLoach somehow brings sincerity to this saccharin. Like she brings like some legitimate integrity to a movie that is just a big eye roll. If it were not for her presence, if there were a lesser leading lady in this movie, I think all of us are thinking this movie's an eye roll. I honestly believe that if she's not in this movie, it is probably at or near the bottom 5 for me. And her performance in this movie, the scene you're talking about, which I said while we're watching the movie, I said, this scene is patently absurd and poorly written. And Nikki DeLoach is crushing it. Like she's making, lemonade out of lemons or whatever you want to call it. That's what she's doing here. And her performance vaults this movie out of kind of the bottom of the season for me and gets it somewhere in the middle purely based on what she's able to do. It is unbelievable to me. And I'm sure, Michael, you've been in situations where you read the page and you're like, oh boy, how are we going to make this work? And you find a way to make it work, or you leave going, man, I hope that worked. I wonder how it goes later. But it's just like Nikki doesn't like, she doesn't stop, never stopping. She just always finds this way to bring this incredible beauty and integrity to what she does. But like, I thought like the Taking the Reins movie, I thought that movie had a lot more integrity than this movie did. This movie just feels like it's just going for the feels jugular, and it never lets any story coalesce. Like they're searching for this woman, they're reading the old letters. There's this dude who turns out to be the grandpa. She's, trying to break up with her one boyfriend. She's got the high school sweetheart. I felt like there were maybe one or two too many storylines here, and it just kind of was schmaltzy and weird. But Nikki still makes it work, and I still had feels in the movie. So there is that.
I think also the emotional part of this, watching it, is knowing Nikki, knowing what she's been going
her
through
story,
the last couple of months, and then watching this movie. It's just a lot of layers there, and so
for sure.
It was beautifully done by her in that regard. Let's talk about all the feels. Yeah, go ahead.
She is the strongest weapon in the Hallmark arsenal.
Yes,
hands down. No one can do what she is doing. She, for every reason you guys just said, she is incapable of delivering anything subpar, but not even the bar is that low, like anything other than excellent. She will take any moment. If it's not working on the day, like when I'm on set with her, if it's not working, if it's like, guys, this is bizarre. How did this make it through all the edits? What are we doing? we stop, like, let's turn this into something that makes sense and that can even just, we can say the words and it can feel human and real. And once we get that fence out of the way, if you make it, I mean, she will bring human and real. She can bear her heart so effortlessly. I mean, the greats make it look effortless, and she is certainly one of the greats. And she makes everyone is floored watching her. Everyone enjoys watching her because she makes it look effortless.
She's the Hallmark queen in our opinion.
Yep,
she does
a great job.
Yeah.
I will say though, that's not what you said before you started shooting, but good save.
Yeah.
You made it seem real.
You made it seem like,
guys, you can't do that while we're in the middle of the. Can you cut that out?
I'll cut that out.
Sure.
That's on me, man.
No, my agent said they told you to never do that again.
I know they did. After last time,
I can't believe you're back on with us. You're gracious to be back.
That's right.
You were down for quarterly Rady time, but not anymore.
Yeah.
No more.
No, you broke the trust.
That's on me, man.
That's on you, dude.
If not, I'm gonna send you a Christmas card to make up for things.
I'm listening.
Let's go to all the feels. The part of the show we talk about what in this movie gave us feels. Panda.
Yeah, how about the ending? But
about
let me before she goes out and does the big speech at the sky, which is wonderful. I actually like the scene before the country music hits, where she's just having those final 5 minutes with Grandpa,
with Jay.
Yeah, with Jay. I love that scene. That got me. It's really sweet. And then as he starts crying, just think, sharing just the whole storyline, and he's getting stirred with emotion. Man, I really love that. I actually really liked Jay. Was a little creepy. Young Jay.
Yeah, young Jay was that was another thing that kept taking me out of this, is like the performance is there.
Well, hold on, I'm not done with what I'm saying. He's a little creepy, but I liked him. I liked him a lot, and I want more creepy Jay in my life.
It's a weird sentence.
What do you mean? What made him creepy to you?
He just there was some vibes, man.
Kind of
I don't know.
A head tick and a smile, kind of.
Yeah, just if I had known it was the Grandpa, he struck me as somebody who's maybe a serial killer. Like he's a little bit.
Not
a
much.
little bit. I loved him.
Like
I loved
a different time to me. Whatever it was, yes, there was some sort of vibe that I got from him, but I don't know. It added up to me. It easily added up to him being from a different time. That's how my brain, my heart made sense of that.
Okay. I like that. I think my heart wasn't quite there. Just with
but
him.
you did
I liked
like
him. I didn't hate him. I loved him. More of him.
You want more creepy Jay in your life.
I want more creepy Jay in my life. I don't know what to tell you. That's just where I'm at with this movie.
That's right.
I'm gonna call this guy and say, "Hey, can you show up?
You just be here and stare
outside
at me
the window
weirdly.
of Panda's house and just give."
I want to
him a
see
little,
like the breath on the glass.
Yeah. 5 more minutes with him. Michael, what are you feeling? What gave you the feels?
Oh man, Nikki, when her line with everyone deserves to know that they're loved. That she's one of the greats. She steps up and she lays that out there in the way she does. That's Slade. I remembered that line specifically because that was tremendous. Of course, the last scene, that the denouement there where she's talking to the grandfather and to Jay. Yeah, that was beautiful. But like a moment, the one specific small moment is when she said, "No, everyone deserves to know that they are loved." That's just it's a beautiful line, and it's just a walk-off grand slam by Nikki.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah. All of what you said is correct. So I'm going to go to a different part, which was her walking into the classroom early in this movie gave me feels, because I think we all have that one teacher that we think of that's like, that teacher knocked out of the park. They were excited about teaching. And then to see her go back into her classroom where she fell in love with art and decided she wanted to be a teacher later on in the movie, it gave me feels. Teachers, I was a teacher and I shouldn't have been. So to know teachers that are meant to be, they were created to be teachers. Thank you for teaching, because it's a really hard job. Dan?
All of the scenes you guys have mentioned, like Nikki does a great job. The rest of it was varying degrees of success for me. But weirdly enough, the first scene in this movie with the kid and the grandpa is the scene that really, after that scene happens, I thought this movie was just going to be an absolute banger. Like that scene, my grandfather was one of my favorite. Christmas at my grandfather's house, like he passed away in 2015. Christmas at my grandfather's house, some of my favorite memories on the planet. And that scene just utterly just got me. So I think maybe part of my issue with the movie is that seemed to be a through line that I wanted more of. And I felt like we spent a lot more time searching for an old woman and having this love triangle. And I didn't care about those things because I thought that the through line of the grandfather and the kid, the little girl in that scene, sometimes, you know, Hallmark child actors are just there to read and move on. This little girl did a great job. The guy who plays the grandpa, he's in 1,000 of these Hallmark movies.
He was wonderful.
He was wonderful, and the scene was just so authentic and great. And the movie never matched that, in my opinion. Nikki's performance did. The rest of the movie never matched what we got there. That scene got me. That scene was a really great scene.
Let's take one more quick break.
Okay.
We'll come back and we'll go to the Weight Watch.
We're going to find out any more about the turtles. What's going on there?
I don't know. I don't know what's in the mailbox.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Fair enough.
Here at Hallmark. Nothing about the turtles.
Unbelievable.
But I
read
do
the
have-
whole document. You pulled it out, read the whole document.
Guys, when you're as good as I am at reading,
You're like a supercomputer.
You pulled out no less than 300
Well,
words.
hold on.
And you went, no turtles here.
Hold on. It does say
Maybe
I
check
like
down the
turtles.
bottom there.
It does say I like turtles there on the back.
On the back. Okay, good.
I like
good.
turtles.
All right.
I also really like BetterHelp. BetterHelp is fantastic. BetterHelp is around whenever you need it, because during the holiday season, maybe some things are tricky for you. Maybe the holiday blues, they're a real thing, and maybe you need somebody to talk with. BetterHelp is there for you. You can start communicating in under 48 hours after they match you with your own licensed professional therapist. BetterHelp has been helping people, over 2 million people have used BetterHelp. They're fantastic, and you can use it from the comfort of your own home, however you want to, whether it's just through typing or audio or even a video chat. BetterHelp is there for you. And you can go to betterhelp.com/Hallmark. That is HELP/Hallmark to get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. That is betterhelp.com/Hallmark to get matched with a therapist. They have licensed therapists in every single state here in the U.S. So go to betterhelp.com/Hallmark for 10% off your first month today. Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, boy.
Welcome back,
Good
everybody.
to be here.
Oh, God, it was a nice little breather we got there.
Wasn't that good?
I
feel
Wasn't that good?
refreshed.
We had, a
Thank
little,
you.
we had a little tea time with Rady while we were playing.
Well
It was
rested now.
It was
Ready for the
wonderful.
next bit.
What
Yeah.
type of tea?
It was a chamomile.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Chamomile
And did he
tea.
spill the tea?
He did. All
He did.
kinds of it.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Some drama on the Chicago Med set.
No.
Yeah. Big time.
Wow.
He and Oliver Platt got into it was a rap battle, I believe.
A rap
I know
battle.
We're not supposed to say anything, but that's what happened. And we may or may not have a clip later on that he is teasing us right now. So we'll see what happens.
Do you guys remember everything you signed beforehand? Do you remember?
Well, you shouldn't have sent us the clip.
I mean,
Brady's
that's on
been-
you.
You shouldn't have sent us
True.
the clip.
That was a weird move. Say we can't talk about this, but I do want to show you this.
That's fair. That's fair.
I got the clip.
Alrighty.
Thank you,
It's gonna
everybody.
get shady. It's gonna get shady. Lake Placid coming at you. Beethoven coming at you. I got all these titles. What you gonna do? Snatch you. Rady's here on the Chicago Med. After this rap, he's gonna end up dead. Oliver Platt comes here to stay. Rady comes in for 10 Fs and walks away.
Wow.
Go, Rady.
I feel like I'm getting something thrown to me here, folks, but I don't know what else to do here because I can't speak. I can't even rap, and it's early in the week, and what am I supposed to do other than sweat and fret? And boys, let's call it because I can't turn any more red than this.
Oh man. I'm sorry, Michael.
I'm sorry we played that clip.
We
I'm
did
sorry we
that.
played that
You
clip.
wouldn't do that also.
Yeah.
You wouldn't put me on the spot.
Man,
Oh man.
Is
I'm
it
sorry.
hot? Like, who turned the heat up?
the sweater's looking great.
Let's talk Wait What's. Let's
And
talk
Oliver
about
Platt's got some bars.
He does.
Holy
Oh,
cow.
wow.
He is
good.
savage. Kind of
He
savage.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw the clip. You saw the clip.
Let's get to the Wait What, a part of the show. We talk about what in this movie made us go, Wait What? Panda, what did it for you?
My biggest wait what is just the way they portray North Carolina in this movie. A lot of snow for a place that
Yeah.
doesn't get that much.
Yeah. Durham, Fayetteville area may get a little bit more than we get like near us, Charlotte, Asheville, but it's not going to be blanketed with snow for weeks at a time.
It's not. And I think that leads to my other wait what, which is the country song at the end. It's a good song, great song.
Yeah,
but
great.
Yeah, no, it's good for a Hallmark movie.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's not a bad song, right?
It's okay.
What
Are
do
you guys
think?
country people? You guys are country music people?
I listen to more country. I'm not.
You
none of
listen
us
to
are
more
country
than
music, but I like country music more than these other two in the fact that, like, you know, Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson, Zach Brown bands. Like, there are bands I like that are country musicians. These guys don't listen to any of it. I've never really liked Scotty McCreery, so maybe that's just a problem.
I just feel like for me, the song was so jarring for the vibe of the movie. It just did not have a country music vibe at all. We've not taught country music. We've not discussed, and then all of a sudden that song hits, and it is jarring. And I feel like it's mismatched to the scene in some ways.
The only thing like country about the whole movie, like no one even tries with a Southern accent. Nikki has a very nice, because she's from Georgia.
Right.
Nikki has a very nice, like just subtle Southern accent anyway, which works really well in this movie. But no one else even tries on that front.
Right.
At all. Like it doesn't feel like it is set in North Carolina at all. It doesn't earn that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My only other wait what is no one had a picture of young Jerry up to this point. Like no one could like no one has a picture of young Jerry.
She's literally the whole movie like this guy looks. No,
he looks. I can't pick him out. Like
we don't have a single picture of my grandfather before the age of 68. It's wild. It's so crazy.
I am just lost.
They just don't have one. Doesn't have one. Not at all.
Average snowfall every year in Fayetteville is 1.8 inches.
Total.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's the Mythbusters. Done. There it is.
More than what we got.
That's tough. Rady, what you got, buddy?
I mean, Panda nailed it. That was my main one. Well, like, but I was going to yield to you guys. You guys are from that. You guys know the deal down there. But I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not the Durham area. That can't be right. But Brandon, I loved your in your synopsis. When she realized she was about to get proposed to, and then she pivoted by opening her mail.
That's right. Yeah. That is like, what do I have around me? Like anyone else is like, I'm going to go to the restroom. She's like, mail time.
Mail is here. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail.
They may as well have had a Western Union person come in and be like, telegram for Mr. Loach.
Or that mailbox right there. Could have been right next
That's right.
to her.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's like,
Oh, what's
what
this?
Oh, I've been fired.
Nothing about turtles.
She gets the letter from the district, doesn't open it right away, keeps it in her purse, and then it's like, now's the time. Oh, I've been fired. This worked out well for me. Come on.
Yeah. Is that all? Is that all you got, Michael?
Yeah, those are the right. Those are my.
Yeah. Brand's going to take the biggest one in the movie. I can't believe these two
Well,
guys.
what? I don't know.
Maybe you
We'll
won't
see.
take it.
I'm confused at how Teacher of the Year works at the school or in this district. They show 4 different Teachers of the Year on the wall, and then she says, "I'm one of the Teachers of the Year." I don't know.
Someone in the chat said it was yearly, but I don't think it is. Do you know I've been nominated for Teacher of the Year in South Carolina?
Oh, cool.
That's a true story. And as a Teacher of the Year nominee, I can tell you that I have no idea how it works, but there is only one Teacher of the Year. It is not 4 or 5 for a district, at least in South Carolina.
As the title would lead you to believe.
Yeah.
Yes, Teacher of the Year.
I believe she literally says one of the Teachers of the Year.
She does say that in the movie. She says
but,
one.
I mean, maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Maybe she's referring to I'm one of the people who holds the title of Teacher of the
in
Year.
years past.
I teach during the year. Yeah.
Yeah. I am one of the teachers of this school year. Yes,
In the
yes.
country.
You could call me a teacher of the year. Yes,
Yes, you could.
you could.
Boy,
Yes.
I'm going to start using
Me
that.
too.
I'm a teacher.
I'm
of
a
the year,
teacher of
guys.
the year 2021.
She is sitting down with some hot chocolate. Now, this hot chocolate has whipped cream and sprinkles on it.
Mhm,
Pretty
mhm.
delightful
Looks
one.
wonderful.
Candy
And
cane
I
there.
believe it's Blake that says this to her, but I could be wrong. But he says, "You look like a teenager." I don't know. Like what is it about? That's just a nice hot chocolate. I don't think teenagers hold the rights to whipped cream with sprinkles.
I think this is you talking. I think
yeah,
but
maybe
the
it
problem
is.
is they're ordering cocktails, and she orders hot chocolate with extra whipped cream. And the joke is this is what a teenager would do at a place where you're supposed to order
If,
cocktails. And now what you're saying is if that's wrong, you don't want to be right.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. And how do we know that? How do we know that hot chocolate's not spiked?
Yeah.
Huh? We don't know. We're not privy to that information.
You feel attacked personally. Here.
Yes. If that's what makes you a teenager, then call me a teenage dirtbag, baby.
We all went out. What? No, we all went out to eat to celebrate the launch of our book, and we all got a drink. And Bran ordered a chocolate martini. That's what he ordered with dinner. That was his go-to drink.
I had another drink before that. I don't remember what it was, but the chocolate martini is memorable, but the other one not so much.
No judgment here.
Thank you.
Sounds delicious.
Thank you.
Sounds delicious.
She's incredibly lucky that her grandpa came back as Jay, because if not, no one would have seen that help wanted sign. There's not a prayer.
No world.
It was covered up, I think, by something.
You could have seen Elp Anted.
Yeah, Elp Anted.
What's Elp Anted? I don't understand what that is.
Saw him live.
It's wild.
Wait, I sorry,
ahead.
I did remember. This made me think. I don't know why this made me think of it, but when he said when he offered to fix her gingerbread house and that turned into a date, that was optimistic, at least. I don't know. I haven't been in the dating game in a while. I can't imagine. Like, I saw this on a Hallmark movie once. Let me try this. That was optimistic.
Yeah, I haven't asked a lot of women out on dates, but I imagine that it would take a lot of asking to get to the, can I help fix your gingerbread roof?
That's right.
I'll fix some gingerbread house, please.
You know.
It's quite the line. It's
You
quite
see,
the
I
line.
thought that was a pretty strong game he was throwing.
There you have it. That shows you what we all know.
Yeah.
I think the three of us have been married for like a collective 25 or 30 years.
Yeah.
we don't know what we're talking about.
No, we
No.
don't.
Nice work, dude. Gingerbread, nice.
Gingerbread.
You're licensed and bonded. You did it, yeah.
Licensed and bonded.
I don't know what kids are doing these days. That was genius. Yeah.
That's great.
That was great. Keep it up.
Yeah.
And then, who is it that says this? I believe it's yes, it's
Is
her
it a
mom.
cup of coffee?
Yeah.
This is the one.
So her mom walks in.
This is unreal.
The day after Nikki gets there, she's working, and the mom gets to come into the candy shop a little bit late. And she says, I can't remember the last time I drank the entire cup of coffee.
She acts like
How busy are you?
she acts like drinking a cup of coffee is summiting a peak that very few
Did
whole cup? Have you lost your mind?
Did you not know? Has no one told you? You can take that sucker to go. You can drink it wherever.
I can't remember the last time I drank an entire cup of coffee. Like they're supposed to be little sips.
Yeah.
Like you're just supposed to have a sip of coffee, and I went for the whole 8 ounces. What was I thinking? Man, why that? I can't believe that was a line in this movie.
I remember the last time I drank the whole time.
The whole cup, man.
There you
You
go.
coffeeholic, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
But someone should keep an eye on her, because if she hasn't done that in a while, it could be a tough day. It could be a tough day for her.
Yeah,
Dan?
That's
I just
scary
want-
for the people around her.
Yeah.
I do want to know.
I had a cup of coffee.
Whoa, whole cup out. They're making that in full cups now? This is crazy.
You get a candy cane. You get a candy cane.
Mom, you're giving away the whole stack.
I had a cup of coffee.
Our long nightmare is over. The coffee shortage is ended. We can all have full cups of coffee now. I just want to know what Nikki DeLoach thinks being a good girlfriend is, because she's the worst to this guy. I get it. I understand you're not clicking, but you guys are adults. maybe have a conversation, because this guy, by all intents and purposes, is the salt of the earth human being.
He seems great.
I mean, looking out for her, teaches with her, supports her vision, her dreams, like thinks of things that she loves, is thoughtful, and she does not have the time of the day for this guy. In fact, so much so that she has been in Fayetteville for over a full day, and he just now texts her, "Did you arrive safely?" a day after she gets there, and she's like, "Yeah," and just keeps moving on with her life. These two have been in a long-standing relationship. She doesn't tell him she's arrived safely in New York from Chicago or New York or wherever it is, and then continues on her life, and then just bails on this guy and doesn't have time for him at every turn of this movie. Like, at some point, you just need to be honest and be like, hey, we don't need to be together. And the fact that that doesn't happen makes me like, because normally they make these Baxters, these boyfriends at the beginning, terrible people. And so you don't care what happens to them. But this guy's a really great guy, and you're just leading him on, and it doesn't work too terribly well because of that. This guy wrote a journal in 50 plus years ago. And back then, journals were hard to come by. We didn't have the note app, in the 50s and 60s.
The monk journal.
Yeah, we didn't have the ability to write down all of our feelings all the time. It was you had pen and paper, limited space, and he is going broad stroke double space in his journal, and it's a bold decision. I don't know if I've ever seen. When my grandfather died, we had all these old letters that he had sent my grandma from when he was off in Vietnam. And like, everybody is using that space like it is the 1960s. Like, that's what they're doing. Like, this guy is big, broad strokes, 6 words a line, giant chunk space in between. Like, he wants to make sure you can read every letter individually. It's a double space journal. And I found it to be a bold choice for 60 years ago.
I feel like they had a lot of journals back then.
Not
as many as today.
My grandfather's airmail letters from World War II had blue ink, single-spaced blue ink going one way, and then turn the page 90 degrees. Or
on the sides. Yeah, 90 degrees.
And then a different color ink across that way. So you could get everything on one
everything
page.
Into it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're journaling in the 1960s, you're not doing 20 words a page. You're
never going to save the turtles with that waste.
Yeah, you're not. And you're going to, the credit card consumption is going through the roof. But the other thing is they act like it's a page turner of a journal and it's taking them all movie to finish. At the rate of double space, you could read all that in a half an hour. Like, it is just not. She's like, I never finished the journal. He said, what at the end? How did you not get there? You're on a full road trip the whole time. It's unbelievable. The biggest crime of this movie is I believe Nikki and her mom start putting lights on a tree, and they start in the middle.
Yeah, it's
what
weird.
is your plan there, Chief? You started in the middle. What are you going to do?
And then they brag about being good at it.
What's the next move when you have 2 strands in the stomach of that tree
going opposite directions?
How are you going to plug them all in? What is your big plan? You've got nothing.
Well,
you shot yourself in the foot before you started.
They had them plugged in. That's the
they
thing
had
too.
them plugged in.
So you plug in, and then you just go. You go recklessly up the tree straight,
and
so
then
you
go
start
down, and then you double up back through.
It's just you're setting yourself up for a long day.
It's
just strategically you've painted yourself into a corner there.
Are you top down or are you bottom up?
Bottom up. Oh,
I'm a top down guy.
That's explains so freaking much.
I'm a top down guy.
So much.
And you travel your power supply to the top.
No, you plug it in at the bottom. You don't plug it in until you finish lighting them.
But you always just stop.
So I leave that end with the female part of the outlet. I leave it at the top. Right, and I just go down, plug them in, wrap, plug in at the bottom.
Well, see, I string lit.
You string lit.
I also string lit.
You string lit.
I string lit because it's how I test the lights.
I test the lights beforehand, but there's something about turning it on after they're all on the tree that is important.
So here's what we do. Here's what we do.
I wanted the big reveal.
Here's what we do.
Tree pre-lit, so you're not in.
Yeah, you're a monster.
I have a pre-lit.
You're a Christmas monster.
So I string it lit and then I turn it off, and then we put the ornaments on, and then you do it, plug it in, and you have the big reveal.
I just
Yes.
I can't string it lit. That's where you know what? If I strung it lit, I would have to go
You'd have
bottom
to,
up.
yeah.
But I'm a top
Well,
down.
then you really get a sense for like
How it looks.
This space. Yeah, I can lay another level in there.
Yeah,
always
man.
pre-lit. Always,
We should all live stream each other, lighting the trees together.
Guys, I need to give you guys a quick little update on the Rady household this year. So for years now, after Christmas seasons of cursing and shouting and slamming tangled balls of broken Christmas lights on the front lawn and just becoming a mess of a human being, I have finally gotten all new Christmas lights.
Wow.
LED ones.
Oh man.
They were just filling the shelves up in the store. I'm talking like mid-October, and I'm always the one who's like, "Oh, these people buying their Christmas decorations in October."
Yes.
Passing, and I saw them, and the LED ones sell out in about 11 seconds.
Man.
So no one had touched all of the Christmas stuff yet. I went in and spent so much money, but they're gonna last me. They're gonna save the turtles.
That's right.
Last me for 100 years, guys.
We need a pick.
That's great.
We need a pick. We gotta have one.
Yeah,
that's right. I don't think you have to worry about 100 years, buddy. Last but not least, this woman is an art teacher. She teaches art all day long, which in elementary school means you teach the entire school K-5 art.
Yeah.
That's what you do. They bring them in for 35, 40 minutes, teach art. Every kid gets to meet the art teacher, has the art teacher, whole thing. This dude says, I found you a job teaching second grade history and English. Now, why did you bother to find her that job? That is not what she does for a living. To say that all elementary school teachers can just teach any elementary school kid is offensive to an art teacher who went and got a degree to teach art. Like, what?
Listen,
and then he doubled down and he says, teaching is teaching, which is
teaching.
One of the.
If you needed any more proof that guy's a PE teacher, look no further.
Yeah. He's a PE teacher. I got this, man.
I got it. Teacher's teaching, right?
Okay, you can teach anything.
You just got to throw words up there. You say, hey.
Go. Throw some Kool-Aid and graham crackers at him. It may as well be 3:00. I don't know who this guy is, but
I like him a lot. White light or multicolor?
Oh God, no! Always white light. Always warm warm white.
He said, "God no!" Like you were a monster. If you
no. Well, I mean, it's always how we were raised, right? My neighbors, my best friend across the street, they had the multicolor.
Yeah,
and it felt so right and real for them, and we always had the white lights. That's just how we grew up, and so. To think like putting a colored strand of my dad now finds like, oh, I found this cool like LED laser thing. I was like, Dad, what are you? You're everything I have ever known. What are you doing? This doesn't work. You can't do this.
Yeah.
There's few things in life that make my blood boil more than those little things that you put in your yard and you just point it at the house and it puts a bunch of dots on the side of the house.
Yes.
Like somebody just went up with splatter paint, just, hey, let's go. Let's have fun. That's not Christmas lights.
I love it.
It's not Christmas lights.
It looks like Christmas lights now, doesn't it, Brandon? It just looks like Christmas lights.
I hate everything.
I love it.
I'm glad you do.
It's a plug and play.
So fun.
It's a plug and play.
It is not fun.
No one's going to confuse it for professional, but it's a plug and play. You plug it in, you're done. That's great.
It's like looks like Halloween Horror Nights or something. I hate it.
Halloween Horror Nights. I don't even know what that is.
It's a thing at Universal Studios or Orlando.
Inflatables or no inflatables? What are we thinking?
I can't stand inflatables, but
I mean, this is like its own podcast. He hates inflatables.
It is.
He's medium on them. He loves them.
But Panda is a big inflatable.
I love inflatables. I just bought my new one for this year. Pretty excited about it.
Are you adding one every year? Is that what?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Pretty excited.
It's a tradition with you and your daughter, right?
Yeah, it is.
Get out of hand
she
quickly.
picked.
I'm here for it.
She picked a Minion this year.
Yeah,
excited about it. Gonna
Christmas Minion.
That and Catboy from PJ Masks. So we might get 2 this year.
You did 2.
I might do 2.
And it's going to be Catboy and a Minion.
If there's 2 things that'll stand the test of time, it is a Minion and a Catboy.
I plan on having them for the next 50 years. People will be very confused.
Yeah, they will.
PJ Masks.
That song is a banger.
Brandon, are you an inflatable or a?
I actually for a long time I've just been straight up lights. Like, let's do lights. I'm a white light kind of guy. Although if I there's something incredibly classic about the old big bulb colored lights.
Sure.
But the LED doesn't give me that same type of feeling. And if you go big bulb, you will die, I think, at this point. And so I'm a white light guy, no inflatables, but I've kind of grown. They've grown on me weirdly. I see people with a lot of inflatables, and I'm like, you guys are fun. Yeah. You're fun.
No, it's fun.
Curious, aren't you?
I'm a little curious. I'm an inflatable curious fella.
Dipping your toe into the water
in the inflatable. Yeah. Let's get to what the Hallmark. It's a part show. We wonder what happened. Maybe happened. Gives clarity questions that we still have. Panda, what are you still wondering about? What do you want to know?
Guys, I have a confession to make. I really like Blake in this movie. I like Blake more than the lead.
You like Blake more than Logan,
the boyfriend.
Yeah,
your team Blake.
Like, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I liked him more than Logan. So when they broke up, my heart hurt.
Yeah.
And my heart still hurts for Blake. And I want to know, is he okay?
Yeah. How's he doing?
Because I will say this, it seemed to me like this is the first time, like, he is not okay after the breakup. A lot of times people are just like, they shake hands, slap each other on the back and walk out. But like, he was genuinely.
What kind of breakups are you using?
No. In the Hallmark universe.
Okay.
In the Hallmark,
hands, slap each other on the back.
Just like good times. But what I would say here is, I just want to make sure he's okay. I'd like to know, who does Blake end up with?
Oh, yeah.
He's devastated.
Yeah.
He's devastated.
Homeboy was bowled over. He was done.
Yeah, crushed.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was tough. Rady, what are you still wondering about? What would you like to know more?
Well, I want to say what I think we're all thinking. My absolute least favorite thing. So it's directed towards Hallmark, so that's why I'm putting it in here. But it's also a what the Hallmark guys. This movie had the worst imaginable time slot. 10 p.m. I don't know what, like, monster chugging, Red Bull shotgunning.
They drink the whole cup of coffee. Is what they did.
Who can stay up till 9? So I'm talking to you, Hallmark. It looks like I'm talking to you, but I'm actually talking to you, Hallmark.
Yeah.
I think everything should just be on at 8 p.m. and let the chips fall where they may. You can call it what you want, call it communism. I don't care. Everything is on at 8 o'clock, and we all just let the chips fall where they may.
Michael Rady hates Oliver Platt and is a communist. That's what we learned today.
That's what I've heard today.
Well, let me run down really quickly a theory, something I've been working on, where we all go to the same time zone.
No, we don't have time.
We can talk
for
about this later.
We don't have time for it. We don't have time for it.
But I think if we would all just commit to saying it's 8 o'clock right now, and then if you're in China, you just adapt to knowing that 8 p.m.
Adapt to America, everyone.
Get used to it.
Either way, I don't care if let's just adapt to 000, whatever that is, not 6 whatever. Like, let's just commit.
Where do you think it's 00 right now?
You know what I'm saying
North
is
Pole?
Eastern Standard Time is Eastern Standard Time is like 0600.
Okay.
From where 0 is, which is, I think, like in Russia. So let's just all
Michael's been with us for at least 3 hours at this point, and he is still here like a
I'm
like
here.
a champion.
I love hanging out with you guys. This is great. This is everything I want to be talking. This is exactly what I want to be doing right now. Let's talk.
Right. I love it.
You're with me though, right? Like, let's all just
I'm with you. My bedtime has always been 8:30. So at 10 p.m. ask, guys, this was a big ask.
Start the movie. 10 p.m. to start. Multiple cups of coffee needed, which would be crazy.
I fell asleep before it started.
Yeah.
I have to watch it the next day.
That's right. Yeah.
10 p.m. guys. Come on.
Get out of here.
Just forget about it. So I wrote this down before, being told that Jay was in fact the grandpa, but he hands Nikki the journal and says, "I didn't mean to pry." And so what that implies to me is that he did a little looksy daisies before he gave that journal. Do you think that he read the journal? Now it doesn't matter because he is the guy who wrote the journal. So therefore that doesn't matter. So Dan,
mine was good. It's a good one. Mine.
Hey guys, I got it.
You took mine, which is, do we not have a picture of Jay from when he was 20 something years old? Like even 30 something years old, you could probably see the.
She's never seen a picture of him.
Like the grandpa lived in the house with the dog. Like, he had a room there. How do we not have a picture of some sort? That was what the Hallmark, like, they just think that those pictures, they're rare. I get it. They're rare when you're that young, but you typically have one or two at least. So that was all I got.
Yeah. I feel like the, also, you guys were hinting at this before, but with the country thing, she comes from Chicago, right? Or yeah, she comes in from Chicago. And so if they're having this opportunity, which they do often, they go from a big city to rural community. Since they were taking a country music song, I really think they should have landed this in a cornfield somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere, Iowa or something very rural. It screams country. The country song that it's based on seems germane to the setting of everything. That would have clicked a little bit more into place for me.
Jermaine's the worst.
Jermaine is the
I
worst.
hate that guy.
Jermaine, God.
The worst.
Unbelievable. He starts in the middle.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
does.
know how he finishes.
You know he does.
Yeah,
You know he does, Jermaine, you son of a...
And he mixes. Jermaine mixes colored LEDs.
Oh,
white.
Dan does
I
that.
mix multicolor and white lights on my tree.
Yeah, I know. Is he not the
Can I
worst?
tell you what happened, Michael, since we've only been here a few hours? I was always a multicolored light guy. My wife, always a white light girl. And when we got married, I've been married 15 years. This would be the 16th Christmas we were married together. And when we first got married, we decided to alternate years. So like 1 year we would do white lights and 1 year we would do multicolored lights. And my wife, I think at one point we saw some Christmas tree and she was like, I kind of like the idea of just as many lights, like just trying to make the tree glow.
Yeah.
And I said, if we put all our lights on there, we could do it. And she was like, let's do it. And so like the third or fourth year we were married, we put all of our lights on the tree and we loved it. And so we, like, our tree, 8-foot tree, well over 1,000 lights on
You're
it.
such a Jermaine.
And it is fantastic. It's great. Are there a few turtles dying? Maybe, but the tree looks wonderful. We bought the lights. We may as well use them. And that's where we are now.
I actually love that. I love that. I feel like traditions really annoy me if they're not serving us today, what we do them because they worked.
That's right. You get it.
Ago.
Preach,
So
Michael.
I like taking that and then making it work. And I like the imagining you guys sitting there, like finished stringing the light, you plug it in and then you both like.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
Oh,
that's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah,
you get it. We did it, man.
I love this.
We did it, everybody. Congratulations.
Good
Michael,
job.
I'll turn it over to you. Anything you want to promote, anything you want to tell the people, share them a poem, whatever you want to do here.
Oh boy, that's I know I got nothing. I'm so grateful that I get to. I think you guys are wonderful. I really I like getting to do this once a whatever with you guys. I look forward to someday seeing you in person.
Please, absolutely.
Maybe sharing a hot chocolate or a chocolate martini or a beer, whatever it is, we would be sharing.
We got to hang out. Seriously,
We gotta make it happen.
we're up in that.
How far away is Connecticut from
We're going to be in Edison,
New Jersey?
here in December. Come on
How far
down.
away is that?
I'm like an hour and a half from New Jersey.
Oh, we got a rental car. We're meeting. I like that.
Here's all I want you to know, Michael. Saturday night, December 11th, Cheesecake Factory in Edison, New Jersey, 6 p.m. Eastern time. You're there. We're buying.
I love
You
it.
had me at Cheesecake Factory.
I
know
know
I
I
did.
did. I
Yeah.
know I
A
did.
lot for a vegan there at Cheesecake Factory.
Essentially the vegan factory.
Wow. December the 11th.
December
right.
11th.
A Cheesecake Factory in Edison, New Jersey.
Edison, New
You
Jersey.
got it? That's where all the players play. You know that.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
They call that Hollywood East, man. Edison, New Jersey.
But you guys are so goofy and funny, and I'm not surprised that you guys have become the sensation that you are.
I
So,
mean, God bless you, Michael. Seriously.
Thank you, buddy.
You're the best,
You're
man.
very kind.
Thank you.
You're the best, dude.
Have fun in Chicago next time you're there. Until we see you again, may we be the first to wish you
Merry Christmas.
thanks, guys.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in, Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.